Alright, guys.
Boom.
Boom.
Crack.
Welcome to another episode of All Circles Podcast. My name is Adam Robb. We are joined today by
Carter Collins.
And we'd like to welcome everybody, including you, Jack, Susan,
Kyle.
Carson.
That's good.
The first video, so I've gotten Casey Neistat has been posting a lot of interesting stuff on Twitter lately.
Oh, really?
And he posted this video, and it's from a show I think called The Magic Garden, which sounds like a fever dream from the 70s.
Yeah, I mean, I think anything from the 70s sounds like a fever dream.
Yeah, so I thought we'd watch it and just get our reactions.
Alrighty.
I should have had this plugged in something, but all right, so we'll start this from the beginning.
It's nice to say hello, hello, hello. It's nice to say hello,
It's so weird.
hello, and how are you? It's nice to shake your hand, shake hands, shake hands. It's nice to
That was a
shake
good camera
your hand.
movement though. Like they knew which camera to look at.
I'm
So
fine,
creepy.
we're fine, and how are you?
Those
The
eye-
look
the-
she gives.
they're just-
it's just
they're like unblinking.
How
Yeah.
are you? Hi, Carlos and Wendy and Scott. I'm glad you're with
Kathy
us.
and Kim and Chrissy
And Anita and Linda.
and Ross and Barry.
Oh, I'm
Hi.
so glad to
And
see you all.
everyone.
kind of mad they didn't say hi to us.
To Carter, yeah. Carter and Adam. So all those like 70s shows, like 70s and 80s, they used to like they would have that like at the beginning of the shows where they would like shout out like kids' names and
Yeah.
like the kids at home were like, they said my name is
Yeah,
awesome.
I know.
They used to do that. I think the Barney, like that's like
Oh,
my
yeah,
generation,
yeah,
like
yeah.
they would do that.
Yeah.
But my mom, she used to watch, I forget what show it was, but she used to get so upset, she told me, because her name's Jody,
Okay.
Jodi, which is a
Yeah.
like, I mean, it's not super common.
Yeah.
And so she was like, every time I'd watch this one show, they would call out names, and she was like, every day I'd get heartbroken that it wouldn't be there. So
That's the way they got people to keep watching, though. They want
Yeah.
to hear their own name.
they're like, I want to hear them
Yeah.
talk to me directly.
Yeah.
And
Everyone's a narcissist.
yeah, it's true. You like it's weird. You ever work with somebody that has your own name?
No, my name hasn't really been common until now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
so-
I get it a lot. Like, there was a wedding I was at the other day or a couple weeks ago, and one of the groomsmen, his name was Adam.
Okay.
And so all throughout the day, they were like, "Hey, Adam, can you grab this?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess." And then they're like, "Oh wait, no, we meant the other Adam.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that." It's
Yeah.
like,
My
okay.
mom used to nanny a kid named Carter, and we would always argue over who the real Carter was.
Oh.
So that's the closest I've gotten to
Real Carter. That
Yeah.
should be, if you do the Young Carter album.
Oh,
that should
yeah.
be the Real Carter.
the real Carter. Oh boy.
Dude, at the end of at some point you're gonna have a rap album.
Honestly, like if I get big enough on TikTok, maybe I'll make a diss track against someone.
Ooh, oh man, who would be the diss track? That,
Oh boy, I can't start
Oh,
that
don't
yet.
say
I'm
it,
not
yeah.
popular enough
Yeah.
to get into that heat.
But dude, that'd be sweet. And then you could do collabs with like everybody.
Yeah.
like Billie Eilish and
Yeah.
Post Malone. That'd be epic, dude.
Dude, my lifelong goal is to meet Post Malone.
Yeah,
That's all I want in life.
He seems like such a chill guy. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's just so different from any other celebrity. He's not a celebrity.
yeah,
Like he's famous, but I wouldn't consider him a celebrity just because the way he handles himself.
yeah,
It's so different from anyone you see.
yeah. And he's
So cool.
like, it's crazy just like how famous he is.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
He's like one of those guys that you like know somebody like Post
Exactly,
Malone that
yeah,
like
yeah,
drinks
yeah.
Bud Light, smokes cigarettes, and just like
They
likes
just
to go
chill.
shooting and fishing. And
Yeah, they're just chill with life.
yeah. There's this guy I used to work with at Starbucks. Like if he him and Post Malone could be like brothers. Like they have
Oh,
the
yeah.
same hair type.
Oh yeah.
And like, yeah, he's got the same vibe. And I was like, dude, I'm working with like Post Malone,
yeah.
pre-Malone.
And you know the crazy thing about Post Malone is you see all these like new up and coming rappers, they tattoo their faces because they think that's gonna get them famous. I believe that Post Malone is the only person who looks right with face tattoos.
Yeah,
that I've seen so far.
It's a bold move to get
Yes,
the face tattoo.
but it's just face tattoos are Post Malone.
Yeah.
Like, anyone who does it now is just trying to be Post
Well,
Malone.
then you had Little Xan, who like kind of dropped off.
Yeah, that guy's weird.
Yeah, and he like had a lot of face tattoos. He went bold with it, and then like that's the situation you don't want to be in, is get the face tattoo and then
fall off and then have to
like,
work at McDonald's.
You're like, man, what am I gonna do now?
Exactly.
But yeah, man. But have you ever tried rapping?
No, I have not.
Given it a shot? Do you play any instruments?
I play the drums.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Play drums, obviously.
Yeah.
It's in the background of your videos.
Yeah.
What kind of drum set you got?
I have a Mapex Mars crossover.
Nice.
It's a Bonewood shell set. It's so nice. I just got it a while ago.
Yeah. Some of that TikTok money.
Yeah, exactly. Once I started making stuff off of TikTok, I was like, you know what? I'm getting a new drum set.
Yeah. This is the thing. I mean, like, I think it's those kind of things that like investing in equipment, I think is a good thing. Like reinvesting in things that you're passionate about.
Yeah.
Is a good thing to get into.
Yeah.
So.
After my first month of TikTok, when I like first started booming and making a lot of money, I thought about buying a new car, and then I was like, my car works perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I might as well get a drum set.
Yeah.
And so, because the drum set I had for 5 years, and it was a beginner set, and it had crappy cymbals. And so I bought a new set, new cymbals, everything.
Nice.
It's so
The
nice.
Zildjian?
No, I didn't get the Zildjian. I'm not a big Zildjian fan.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
a Meinl guy.
Okay.
Because they're affordable, but they sound absolutely amazing. I think Zildjian is a little overpriced, honestly.
I learned most of what I know about drums from my one friend Dan, and so that I'm not a drummer though, but that's all I know. And I've tried. Like I can do a decent beat.
Yeah.
But anything more complicated, I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
No way.
It's definitely hard to start out, but once you get into it, it's just fun.
Yeah. I feel like it's hard. Like drums is one of those instruments that's hard to practice because there's no, like you can play a guitar like real quiet. Like if you want
exactly.
an electric guitar, you could put headphones on.
Yeah.
But
and
drums,
even an electric drum set, it still makes noise.
It
still makes a lot of noise.
Yeah,
but
I have an electric one that we used to use. I think it was like Asus or something.
Oh yeah.
And I would practice that. My roommate would be like, "Dude, you gotta stop."
It sounds like you're playing Rock Band over there.
Yeah, it does. It's like it is like Rock Band.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of electric sets.
Yeah, I liked it because it was easy to practice like along to like a band. Like I can listen to something and like try.
Yeah.
But I'm like it kind of works with my whole life. I've always been like a jack of all trades, master of none. That's just, and I'm trying to embrace it. I'm like, you know what? I've never been like, I've been decent at like guitar. I've even tried like mandolin.
Oh, really?
And, like a little
that's
bit
cool.
of like banjo. Banjo is hard. That is a hard instrument. Keys a little bit. I've just been like kind of good at something.
Yeah. That's kind of how I feel too. Yeah. I just got lucky with TikTok, I guess.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Sometimes it's all.
There's always going to be somebody who's better than you at everything.
That's true. You just have to. I mean, the crazy thing I've learned about TikTok is you can get famous for anything. Like that guy who got famous for drinking ocean spray.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now that guy, like, he's got. What do you think? All right, so going back to tattoos, what do you think about the head tattoos?
I think his is dope.
Like he's got that. Was it a feather?
That's
pretty sweet.
Because I think he's some type of Indian. I don't know if that's offensive to say anymore. I don't know. Everything's offensive, but yeah, I think his tattoo is dope. And I mean, I have a tattoo that's kind of on my head.
Oh, you got the cross, yeah.
But,
I think if it's subtle, like it's like my friend, he's got a like a constellation by his eye, and I'm like, that's kind of dope. Like I'm like, all right, you can pull it off. If
you can pull it off, just go ahead. And if it won't ruin your future, go ahead.
Yeah, that's true. Speaking of are you on Twitter a lot?
I am now. I never used it, but and then I got this new job at a church, and I'm running their Twitter account, so I'm kind of
you have to
getting used to it now.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah, something I've noticed about Twitter that has been kind of interesting is that I follow a lot of like film photographers and stuff like that, and people have been getting creative. So like when you post like photos to Twitter, it kind of makes like a 4 grid system kind of.
Yeah.
And one of the topics I wanted to talk about is the Pope memes.
Oh boy, I love these.
Yeah, these are. Okay, so the original was, I think it was from this one, N64 Today.
Yeah.
And people have just been getting like, and it's kind of like an old meme.
Yeah.
But on Twitter, people have been kind of resurrecting it.
Oh
and
boy.
like some of them have been so amazing.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to figure out like a friend of mine. He does. He's working on a poetry book. He does all my logos.
Oh, okay.
And we were talking yesterday, working on a new one. And he's putting out a poetry book, and he's like, I'm trying to figure out like a good format to like post stuff on the internet, and because he's like, he does in a similar style. Do you know who E.M. Cummings is? Mm-hmm. He's a old school poet who on a typewriter he would do these weird like interactive poems where like it was like a different like. They'd make like a shape, or they would be like really off. Like,
okay.
They'd have like weird stuff going on, and so his poetry is kind of like that. And he's like, it's kind of weird because he's like, I don't know if it'll work like if it was like a spoken word kind of thing or something like that. But I was like, dude, what you should do is take advantage of like the Twitter, like the 4-panel thing, and have your poetry like interact with that. Because these Pope memes, like,
oh my gosh,
some people are getting super intricate. Like he got Lion King. Oh my gosh, I love that. Like, oh man. And then bubble wrap, that one's good. That one he just posted a straight up photo, but milking a cow.
They didn't even try on that one.
This one, like some of them, they're just like, I'm just posting a photo, but dude, that one, the reverse Uno card. Oh man,
the After Effects.
This is Pope about to make a meme. And okay, here we go. I guess they got a template. The iPhone 12.
iPhone 12.
that one's okay. I saved a couple that were my favorite. Let's see it. My favorite one. I love this frosty. The frosty.
It's upside down. I love it.
You get the Pope.
Oh my gosh.
Doing the frosty, that's the best.
Oh, now
that
I
was
want
probably
frosty.
That's my favorite one right there.
I love that.
Hands down. That's flipping the frosty.
Yeah.
You got the Yeezus. And then
the Pope holding the Pope holding the Pope holding the Pope.
That was amazing. Let's see, that's the original one. And then they kind of did Martin Luther.
I voted.
Yeah, it said I'm so fed up with that Pope meme. And then they have Martin Luther hammering the 99 Thesis.
Oh yeah.
To the wall. To the church door.
Yeah.
But it says I voted. So I thought, man, that was good. But yeah, I feel like people can get really creative with that, and it's like an untapped, or it's starting to become like people are like seeing it as like, oh, this is kind of an interesting new format on Twitter, and especially with photos, because like I don't think Twitter has usually been about photos. Like nobody thinks Twitter photos. They think like Twitter. Just like news, or like up to date kind of stuff, or like news. News, or you follow like I don't know, famous people. You can, I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy. Like the like I've been on Twitter for a while. I've always been like kind of a spectator, and lately I've been trying to like get more involved in like the Twitter community and like just talk to people on there. And it's crazy the like if there's somebody that you like kind of look up to, especially if they're like, I don't know, like low to mid tier famous, you know, like there's some podcasts I follow and I can like have full blown conversations with these people. Yeah. And it's really cool. I'm like it's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, that's how people treat me when I'm on like a live or something. When I answer someone's question, they'll go, like, whoa, like what? And I'm like, I'm just a normal dude from like Ohio. Like I've never done anything special with my life. Yeah. I'm not in college. I'm on TikTok for a living. I'm not that cool. Yeah. So like I think something that's shown me like that's I don't even know what I'm saying. Something that I've seen lately is that like these people are just normal people. Cuz that's how I feel, and I'm not nearly famous. I'm not even TikTok famous. I have almost 300,000 followers, but on TikTok that's not like crazy. And people treat me like I'm famous on there, which is like, it makes me feel good.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, I'm a normal dude. And there's these celebrities that are just normal people.
We got to get that Logan Paul quote where he's like, I'm just a white boy from Ohio.
That's me. I'm just a white boy from Ohio.
We'll just play it. I do have a couple of good ones. We got, bruh. I stole that one from H3. What else we got? That's the classic. And I got the Mario theme. I don't know what we use that for, but
whenever we talk about money.
And I love the kids one. Kids try. Kids react. Pope memes.
Yay!
We're gonna have too much fun with that. So the main topic I want to talk today, I've been kind of, especially since I've been putting a lot of eggs in the podcast basket. I do think like podcasts, like they've been around forever. Like, I mean, the iPod was, originally like that's what it.
Oh, really?
Podcasts, like
I didn't even know that.
Kind of what it's named after.
I did not know that.
Oh, you didn't?
No. That's cool.
The more you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, like podcasting isn't a new thing, but I think that like as opposed when you put it up against like YouTube and like TikTok and some of these other platforms, I think it is kind of like a growth opportunity because there are some statistics and stuff about like where it's going to be in the next couple years.
Yeah.
And I think that like compared to all those other channels like YouTube channels and stuff there, I think podcasting especially has a like it has that potential to kind of blow up, and it's kind of an interesting thing because something I've learned just from from getting into podcasts is that like it really gets I think people enjoy listening to other people talk, especially if it's something that they're interested about.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can really work like I've kind of maybe put a little bit too much on my plate where I'm trying to start like 3 separate podcasts, but you really kind of have to with it because like people follow like things that you have to really niche down when it comes to podcasts.
Yeah.
And so, I think especially when it comes to melding podcasts with video, I think that's going to become more prevalent later on, especially since like Spotify has been introducing more video because they used to like I think for a while they've been playing around with video and they're like maybe we should just do like focus on music videos like while you're listening to a song, or like they're not like full music videos, you know what I'm saying? But I think Spotify is building that kind of infrastructure where like especially when they get big people like Joe Rogan, and they have like a select podcasts that are doing video. I don't know. I think that's kind of where things are going. So
yeah, for sure. It's definitely not new, but it's a new trend.
Yeah,
like it's really booming right now. Podcasts and like I didn't even know what a podcast was until like a year or 2 years ago. Like, and now I listen to a bunch of them. Yeah. So
what are some of your top faves?
Oh, my favorite is The Office Ladies.
Dude, that's like the one podcast me and my wife listen to.
Oh, really?
Like together, because we both listen to like very different things.
Yeah.
But when we're like driving together, we're like, put on that Office.
Yeah.
It's so funny to me how like in real life, Angela Kinsey is kind of like Kelly. Like she's very like bubbly.
Yes.
And, like happy.
Yeah. And, Pam is a lot like her character though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Pam, I think she kind of is almost like sort of gets a little Angela in her. You know? Like,
she's like, yeah, definitely. Like, she's like a mix of Pam and Angela.
Yeah,
in real life. Pamgela.
But like she seems kind of like very like organized and very.
Oh yeah. She's always the one who has the note cards. Yeah. Angela always talks about it.
Yeah, it was like the more like free spirit. She's like, I got like note cards hanging out around here.
Yeah.
She's like,
I forgot all my note cards today.
Yeah. But man, I love that one. I don't know what everybody's gonna do when The Office is off of Netflix. I think that's supposed to happen pretty soon.
They've been saying that for years, but the way I look at it is that would be a big mistake by Netflix.
Yeah.
Because personally, and I know a lot of other people are like this, I don't really watch much on Netflix besides The Office.
Yeah, that's true.
Like that's one of the only things I watch.
The Office, New Girl.
Me and Ashley started
British baking
that.
show.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's so funny.
I love that. Like I've probably seen New Girl maybe just as much as I've watched The Office now.
Oh, really?
Because I just
wow.
It's one of those shows, like, if I'm cooking or something, I'll just put it on.
Yeah.
I don't need to see it anymore. I can
Yeah. That's how The Office is for me, too. I've watched it 4 times.
Yeah. Dude, that'd be so much fun to meet, like, what's his name? What's his real name? Or Nick and Schmidt, and, like, all the, like, they're just so fun characters. Like, it's such a great cast of characters.
Yeah, for sure. It doesn't, it doesn't really matter what the show is as long as you have the cast, because like you see all those movies from the early 2000s, the comedy movies with all of the big comedy stars. They're crappy movies, but we love them because of the cast. They're so funny. They're not good movies. If it was a cast of people we didn't know, those movies would be terrible.
Oh yeah, dude, for sure.
Yeah, like Anchorman. Oh,
dude, Anchorman,
that would be absolutely terrible if we didn't know who any of those people were.
Yeah. Oh man, that movie. Like, I remember watching that movie. Like, I would watch that over and over again just because it's so funny. Yeah. I was very disappointed. It was like with that and then Dumber and Dumber 2.
Oh my gosh.
I was so disappointed because you liked the second one?
I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it might be the first one I like better. I haven't seen them in a really long time.
Yeah, because they had remade it a couple years ago.
Oh, okay.
Along with Anchorman 2. And they were just like, they tried, I feel like they just tried to recreate and it didn't work.
I didn't like Anchorman 2.
They tried to recreate that lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just can't.
Well, I didn't even see Anchorman up until a few weeks ago. If I'm being honest with you, yeah.
Oh man,
I was born in 2001.
Yeah.
So I mean, but yeah, I watched it a few weeks ago and I loved it. And I've seen scenes of it. Like, I knew what the movie was forever because I've seen different scenes, so I knew it was funny. But I loved it. And then we watched Anchorman 2, and it just wasn't the same.
Yeah.
At all. No.
That was crazy. Yeah, it's there was so much weird stuff, like the shark. That whole shark bit took way too long. It was too weird. I was like, what is going on here?
It was so dumb.
But yeah, so I kind of wanted to go into some of these stats. Let's see here. Why is it taking me all the way to the bottom of every page? So I want to kind of put it into perspective of like where everything is. I'm on Oberlo. Some 2020 statistics. Oh, this is like September. So, let me see here. So, TikTok has 800 million active users worldwide.
Jeez.
Isn't that crazy? Like, think about that.
Insane.
And then when you compare that to like podcasting, podcasting is a little weird because there's because it's hard to tell from Spotify, and since there's so many different platforms for podcasts, like you have like Beansprout, and there's so many different places. But when you compare, let's do a YouTube channel. So there are 31 million YouTube channels, and then there's 2 billion users from YouTube, and that are actively watching stuff.
Yeah.
And then, so Spotify alone has 248 million users.
Wow.
But they have 850,000 active podcasts.
Jeez.
So like the ratio to me, like when I look at those, like I think that I don't know, that's kind of one of the reasons why I'm thinking that there's room for podcasts to kind of skyrocket.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's still a lot.
Yeah.
But, like, when you look at it, you got to do what's trendy.
Yeah.
No matter if other people are doing it or not. I mean, you got to stick to the trends. That's what gets you popular.
What do you think is, like, the future of podcasts? So, like, for, like people your generation and, like, younger that are maybe, like you said, you've just gotten into podcasts in, like, the last, like, year or so?
Yeah.
What are some things that you think are coming down the pipeline? Like, what are some things that maybe can change podcasts that would make it more relatable to like younger listeners?
Well, I think the biggest thing right off the bat is I think podcasts are going to take over the radio.
That's true.
I think the radio business is going to die soon. Like, because the radio was podcast before podcasts, really. And they have the music and they have everything, but everybody has that on their phones now. And everybody can get a Bluetooth for their car.
Yeah, and you can do Spotify and
Yeah, exactly. There's so much happening. I don't think the radio is going to be around much longer. I mean, there's a lot of people who think the radio will always be there. And I mean, I see that, but at the same time, is anybody listening to it?
Yeah.
Like, are they going to have a business? Are they going to be making money off of it? And that's the biggest thing that I see podcasts doing. And I don't think that's a bad thing, because podcasts are more interesting to listen to, and you can find a podcast for what you're interested in.
Yeah.
Somebody's doing a podcast for everything. Like, it's insane.
Yeah, and I think one of the cool things about it is, let me see, I was looking up radio facts and figures. It says more than 244.5 million American adults listen to the radio each month. Let's see. The top formats are country, number 1. Interesting.
Really?
News,
well,
talk.
yeah, because a lot of country people don't really like using their phones that much. Yeah, they're more old school.
They just turn on the radio.
Yeah.
And then news, talk, commercial and non-commercial, and then contemporary music.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's break it down. So 18 to 34, there's 71 million.
Okay.
90% of adults 18 to 34 reach monthly by radio.
Oh, wow.
So it's still, I don't know. I don't know if it's totally out of the game yet.
Yeah, no, I did not know that was.
And then 35 to 49, it's actually lower, 59.6 million adults. And then the people 50 and over definitely have 115 million adults over 50 that listen to the radio. So that makes sense. Wow. But that's interesting about the 18 to 34-year-olds.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
Yeah, no.
Maybe it's because they have to ride with their parents.
Yeah.
Like their parents listen to the radio. I
don't know.
But I don't know. I don't know. I think there's always, especially since there's still a lot of money involved in it.
Yeah.
And I think that's, get people getting, especially musicians, getting their music heard on there is still pretty it's still like an industry standard.
Yeah.
But I definitely think that I don't know, maybe there's a way for radio to kind of merge with the podcast realm, where there's different radio stations where it's like certain kind of podcasts and they just kind of play. I don't know, maybe something like that. But I don't know, we're just spitballing here. But I think that long form like entertainment podcasts like the one we're trying to do right now.
Yeah.
I think like I've noticed a lot like with like H3 podcasts, like I think those formats, especially since it mixes like, sometimes it could be just like Ethan and Hila talking about whatever, but then they can also have guests, and it's kind of it creates kind of like a variety show. And especially when it comes to video, I've noticed, especially going through like YouTube, they do some of theirs live. So what's going on in your creative world? I've seen you've been doing some photos and stuff. Yeah,
I've been doing a lot of photo shoots recently. A lot of people want senior pictures and different family pictures with all the leaves changing colors and stuff. So I've had a lot of those recently. I did 4 this week, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Which is pretty nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got another one booked for next weekend. I was supposed to have one yesterday, but it rained.
Oh, yeah.
Ohio sucks
for
photography. It sucks. But yeah, just trying to stay steady on TikTok while working my other job, doing photography, pretty much trying to do everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. Where are you going with the TikTok? Are you still kind of rolling with the same format?
Yeah, I'm doing a series right now where I'm taking cartoon characters and I'm making them Halloween-y.
Oh, nice. Oh, I've seen it. Yeah, I saw a couple of those.
Yeah. So that's what I'm doing right now. It's not really booming. My views are kind of dying. I think I figured it out, though. They released a creator fund on TikTok.
Yeah.
And I think anyone who's on the creator fund, they lowered the views, so they pay them less.
Oh,
because you get a certain amount of money for the amount of views that you get. And ever since I started that, my views have plummeted like crazy.
Weird.
Yeah. And so the other day, I ended that because they weren't paying me much anyways. So I was like,
you're like,
be gone, creator fund.
Yeah, you're like, if I can get more views, I can get,
Exactly. I'm making a lot more off of my merchandise than I would be because they give you $1 per 10,000 views.
Oh,
so
yeah,
it's not
like,
it's not very good. But yeah, so I ended the creator fund, so hopefully my views start going back up.
Yeah, that's weird. Like, you would think that they would want people to watch, like, it would, because like the way YouTube works is that like you do get that percentage of the ad revenue,
Yeah,
but it doesn't affect your view count at all.
Yeah,
and that sounds kind of counterintuitive for TikTok to do that.
Yeah, I mean, but anybody above 10,000 followers can be on the creator fund.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people who want to be on it.
Yeah.
Because like if you only have 10,000 followers, like making a few cents
Yeah.
would feel kind of nice.
Yeah, that's true.
Like making like you can tell people you're making money off of social media. That's kind of cool. But yeah, I ended that because I definitely make a lot more off of my merchandise.
Yeah.
And the more views I get, the more people that will buy my merchandise.
Yeah.
So yeah, ended that. I'm just trying to stay steady on it. It's hard having another job. Don't have a lot of time to sit down and draw, but yeah, just trying to make it work.
And then the YouTube channel, I saw you did a new video. You put that on out?
Yeah. What did I do again?
You were.
I did the digital art.
Yep.
Yeah. So I did digital art for the first time ever, and it was fun. I don't know if you watched it, but I concluded that digital art is art.
Yep.
Because I used to say it wasn't, and I used to get mad whenever people would say digital art was art because I thought it was so easy and it was just like cheating. But I mean, I honestly believe that you can do more with it just because you only have an iPad and a pencil, and you can do whatever you want with it. And it costs a lot less money.
Yeah, you don't have to buy a bunch of markers.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a one-time purchase, really. But it was a lot of fun, and I give people props who like do realistic art digitally. It's insane because I was going into it thinking I was going to do this big masterpiece that was going to be so cool, and then I drew a little pumpkin.
You're like, wow, it's all right.
Yeah, exactly. This is it. But yeah, it's a lot more than I ever thought it was.
Yeah.
So
what program did you use?
Adobe Sketch.
Adobe Sketch.
A lot of people use Procreate. I didn't buy it for that video because it's $10, and I wanted to see if I liked doing it before I.
Yeah, and you already have Adobe.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Suite, so
but I'm pretty sure I'm going to get Procreate here soon, just to make different stuff, like for my job, obviously, because I'm doing a lot of graphics for them. But it's fun. I like it.
Nice. So go like with YouTube, are you starting to learn more about how that algorithm works, or?
No, I'm still focusing mainly on TikTok. I'm not trying to focus too much on YouTube. Just because of my main income is TikTok, and it's staying around.
I think YouTube is definitely the long game.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to go into it knowing like, all right, this isn't going to be like. Because all the kind of land grab for subscribers was like long time ago.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm the type of person who has very little patience. Yeah. So TikTok is very good for me.
Yeah. What do you think about other like TikTok like competitors that have popped up recently? Like I think there's a couple like Triller, Byte, and then maybe at some point like David Dobrik's Dispo. Disposable app. He said it's going to be some kind of like social media at some point.
Yeah, I've heard he's making this social media that's kind of like Instagram, but all the pictures are unedited. They look like a disposable camera, which is really cool. That's an awesome idea, and I think it'll do well just because he's David Dobrik. Yeah,
it's kind of like when Casey Neistat, when he was doing his daily vlogs, he came out with Beam, which is like it used your like the proximity sensor on your phone. So like you would do a photo like this or a video, and as soon as you were done, it already uploaded. Like you couldn't look at it or anything.
Oh wow!
And so it was an interesting concept because it was kind of like that very raw experience.
Yeah.
And so I think that like if David Dobrik could like capitalize on that, I think that would be very. Yeah, interesting.
If anyone could pull it off, it would be David Dobrik.
Yeah, but definitely, I feel like people would find a way to edit, like somehow. There's always a way around it. I think.
Yeah. But I think that's a good idea because a lot of things are over edited, and I mean, I'm even saying that as a photographer who edits all my pictures.
Yeah.
But I think the Facetune stuff and all that is just, it's too much. Yeah. And like, I don't think people should be changing their appearance to show other people and make them think that's what they look like. Yeah. I don't think that's right. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a little preset that makes your photos look better.
But if you look like a whole different person,
exactly.
You're like, where does
that's
it
called a catfish. I'm calling what did I just say? I'm calling MTV. MBT.
But yeah, I think that's the cool thing. Like I've been getting into film photography lately, and that's the cool thing about it because like you can do digital scans and bring them into Lightroom, but you can't do too much to those photos, or it looks like crazy.
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of the beauty of it is like when you get back your scans or when you get back like your prints, like there's that's what it looks like. You get all the pre-planning and what film stock you use, what lens, what kind of body you're using. The body really doesn't matter as much, but those kind of elements are like this is what like how you expose it.
Yeah.
I think that is kind of coming back. Like film photography has been kind of on a like an uptick lately, and I think for that reason, like people like that very authentic look, and that post processing is maybe getting a little out of hand lately.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like Triller and Byte, what do you think they stand a chance, or do you think TikTok is it?
That's just a simple answer. No.
Yeah.
No, not at all. Because I remember when TikTok was shutting down, like when it was in the talks, I downloaded, I think it was Triller, and I just took one look at it, and I was like, this isn't right. This is a complete copy from TikTok, just without, I think you couldn't see how many followers you have.
Yeah.
And I think that's so weird. Like, nobody's going to use it. I mean, it's a good idea on paper, like thinking, oh, you shouldn't base your life on how many followers you have. Yeah. I mean, that's always a good idea. But at the end of the day, people aren't going to use it for that fact.
Yeah, that's true.
So, it might look nice in a perfect world, but it's not a perfect world.
And I've tried both of them. They don't work as well as
no, not at all.
TikTok. Like they've always been super laggy.
Yeah.
And then one thing that I've noticed is that with Triller, the annoying thing is sometimes I kind of like it, but like when you watch TikTok, like the sound automatically is on. But with Triller, you have to like every time you open the app, you have to like physically like.
Oh, that's annoying. Yeah, they did that to Instagram a while ago. I don't really like that.
And like sometimes it works, like if they're like, but I think when you go to TikTok, you go there because like you want to listen to what is going on. Like it's hard, like with Instagram or anything, like you can watch a video and it's quiet, and like while you're scrolling, you don't necessarily want to listen to it. And that's why people utilize like subtitles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like TikTok, people go in there there's usually a song or something, or else it does. If you just like scroll through TikTok with no sound, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no, not at all.
And
I've noticed a lot of people on Triller, because I only used it for one day when they said TikTok was shutting down. A lot of people just copied their videos from TikTok and
put them over there.
Put them on Triller.
Let's see if it'll work over here.
Yeah.
And I think that another thing that TikTok has going for it is its algorithm. Especially like with 800 million people. The algorithm has been like constantly learning, and it's like people have been like, this is a really good, like they've perfected it to a really good spot where it's feeding like you like the more content that you interact with, the more of that same content you will get.
Exactly. Yeah, because my For You page would be totally different from your For You page, just because it's what we're interested. I mean, ours would probably be a little bit alike, but like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like everyone's For You page is different. It's based on what you like, and that's so cool. That's so cool to me.
Yeah, we should do a video where it's people looking at each other's like.
Yeah, For You pages. Yeah, that would be cool.
Or like. Couples.
Yeah, well, me and Ashley have noticed whenever we're looking at TikTok, like right beside each other, we'll notice that we're watching the same videos. Oh, okay. Because our For You pages are a lot alike, just because we're so similar. And so, I don't know. I just think that's cool.
Yeah. That, like, what do you think about Instagram Reels? Do you think those?
I haven't used it once.
Yeah. I feel like, so like people that were, I think like my wife, she was super wary of TikTok. Like she was like, I don't know if I want to mess around with that. She really gets into the reels.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I'm like, you're basically just watching TikTok.
Yeah.
And she's like, it's different. And I'm like, not really. No,
Instagram has their ways of doing that. They took the stories off of Snapchat, and now they took the reels from TikTok. I mean, kudos to them. It works, but I haven't used reels at all, so I don't know.
Do you think people are getting kind of like exhausted from Instagram at all? I've heard that from a couple of people recently.
Yeah. I barely use Instagram anymore except for when I'm at work, and I post art very rarely now on Instagram just because it feels a lot better to post it on TikTok because I know I'll get something out of it.
Yeah, you're like, like there's sometimes where you can post something to Instagram and like it's disappointing when it doesn't perform as well as you want it to. And I've never been super into Instagram to begin with. Like I won't go on there for like days, and then I'll go back on and be like, oh man, people are like messaging me and stuff.
Exactly.
But but I don't know. I think Reels is kind of just their response, and I think for the people that didn't get into TikTok, that's kind of what they're getting into. But I don't think anything is going to compete with TikTok, and I don't know.
No, not at all.
Yeah. But anything else that you had in mind to talk about, or?
No, I did have one idea though. For one of these podcasts, I think I should do a live video and have them tell us what to talk about. I think that would be really cool.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out a good workflow for that. I think with this guy, we can, there's a live like switcher, and you can actually hook this straight into the ESR, which is pretty
really?
sweet.
Oh, that would be sweet.
And you have to do it right, or else I'll blow the like the the port. So I'm gonna have to double check how to do that because I don't want to ruin my camera because that is unfixable. But man, sweet. Podcast number 2.
Yeah, number 2.
Got it in the bag.
Yeah, for sure.
This is All Circles podcast. All Circles, No Squares. And we'll see you guys next week.
Gotcha.
Peace.